my name is Jessica and welcome to Makeup.misfit, and I apologize for the lighting. I am filming this before I go to work this morning as it's the only time that I have, and I am actually starting work an hour later today, so it kind of gives me a little bit of time to throw this in and film as things have just been pretty crazy lately. But I'm excited because I have my deck of panning update, and next month is already the finale, which is just so crazy to me. I've really enjoyed this project and I think she's bringing it back next year, which is super exciting. But before I get into this update, I did kind of mess up a little bit in my last update, if you saw that. So when we get to that, I will chat about it a little bit more. But let's start off with the products that have been in here for the longest. So a few months back, I think these were all rolled in around the same time. But a few months back, I rolled in the Four of Hearts, which was a brand that you own the most of. So I went with NARS and I chose my mini deep throat blush. My goal was to hit pan, and I feel like I still have a ways to go. So I can kind of see around the edges that it is a little bit lower. You can see that there. You can see the edge of the pan, which is very inspiring at this point. But I'm really hoping that I can hit pan in this by the finale. If not, then that's fine. I know that this product is getting a lot of use on it, which is more than what it was before it was rolled into this project, because I don't think I had used it at all. But it would be really nice to be able to hit pan in here. So a few more weeks, and we'll see if I'm able to do that. So then I had chosen the Ace of Hearts, which was to pick your own space. So I decided to go with the Two of Spades. Yes, the Two of Spades, and at the time that was for the prompt indie. Now I chose my indie eyeshadow. It was the single Party Monster from Gimme Glow. Now, if you knew about it, it shattered on me, and there really wasn't much product left, so my goal was to finish this. Now, it's still pretty much looking the same as it was last month. There may be a little bit more progress, but everything is still just sitting around the edges. So since this is a topper shade, I'm really hoping that I can just kind of focus on this and top it on top of a majority of my eye looks over the next month or so, and see how much progress I'm able to make with it. I do use my finger, and I know that it gives more impact on the eye, but you know, it doesn't necessarily move the product too much in the actual pan. But if I just continue to use it for the next month, I'm hoping I can at least clear out another section. I'm not expecting to finish this off, which is fine with me. But if I can at least clear out another section or maybe thin out this part here, I will be happy. I know that this is getting use on it, and that's really what matters to me. But it would be kind of cool to be able to finally finish that shade that is in here. I have another single and it is just shifted green, and it just looks so cool right now. Okay, sorry for the little distraction there. Okay. So then next I rolled the Seven of Diamonds, which was pattern. So I chose my Colourpop Tearing Up My Heart blush. The goal was to wear away the pattern. At the last update, I had a little bit of the pattern left around this side or so. And as you can tell now, it is completely, for the most part, except for right about here, cleared out. That is probably the most difficult part. It is very faint, so I'm calling this good. I'm calling this done. As I mentioned in the last update, it's easier for me to wear away the pattern in the center of the pan than it is around the edges, because that's just where my brush tends to hit. So the fact that I was able to get this much worn away, I'm good. I'm happy with it. It's faint around that very edge there, and I'm not too worried about it. So I'm excited to roll this out. I do enjoy this blush. I love peach blushes, and I do feel like this is probably going to be my collection for a little bit, but I'm okay with that. So I'm excited to roll something in place of that one. So last update, okay, so this is where I made a little bit of a mistake. So I rolled in the 10 of clubs, but I said it was the 10 of spades. And when I looked on the game board, it was also the 10 of spades that I had talked about. So that was body care. And for body care, I rolled in the sunscreen. My goal was to finish this. I looked at it afterwards, and the 10 of clubs was actually controversial brand. So, sorry. So what I'm deciding is I've used this once. I'm rolling this out. I'm not going to reach for this. I'm not going to finish this in a month. That was quite the ambitious goal. So I'm going to kick this out and I'm going to roll in what I had actually pulled, which was the 10 of clubs. So for that, I'm rolling in Controversial Brand and I'm going to choose a shade from this Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. So what I'm going to roll in is the shade Satin Sheets, and my goal is just to hit side pan. I really just want to expand the pan, but if I could hit side pan, top or bottom, I would be super happy with that. I'm very happy that I actually hit the pan in this. I think it was last month, and I've been using it as a highlighter. Like I'll pair it with another highlighter, and that is how I made my use on that shade. So that's how I will continue to use it, and I do think that I'll be able to hit that goal, or at least expand it and get pretty close. I'm not going to beat myself up if I don't end up hitting side pan. That is kind of just a soft goal. I'm really excited to see what it's going to look like in the next month though. So that is what we're doing. I'm getting rid of the prompt that I was talking about that was incorrect, and I'm rolling in the proper prompt. So last update, I also rolled in the King of Hearts, which was your oldest product. So for some reason, my mind always goes to this palette to be my oldest palette, or my oldest product, my oldest eyeshadow palette. So what I'm doing is I'm rolling in a shade from here as well. So I'm going to have 2 shades that I'm working on in this palette for this project. So the shade that I had rolled in was Satin Sheets. So that's the shade right here. Now, my goal is to hit pan, so I do have a little bit of a ways to go. There is a bit of a dip in here I can feel. And I'm using it the same way that I use Satin Sheets. So I use it as a highlighter. My highlighting brush is about the size of that pan. So it kind of hits the whole thing. So even though I can feel a little bit of a dip, I just feel like that's kind of where the bottom of the bristles are. So it's a little bit more dense. I really think that I can use these 2 interchangeably or even pair them together. And I think I'll be able to make some good use. I don't know if I'll be able to hit pan necessarily by the finale, but I know I will be a lot closer, and that alone just makes me happy. So I'm excited about that. I'm really excited to reach for the both of these. These are 2 shades that I have been wanting to pan in this palette. So I'm really excited that I get to do so now. So I get to roll out my Colourpop blush, which means I get to roll and choose a new card. All of the cards from the deck are in here. I just kind of pulled them out of the package. So we'll see what I get. All of those random cards are in here as well. I am going to hopefully, I'm going to throw up the game board. I always tend to forget. And it is until I go to watch this back afterwards or whatever that I remember that I totally forgot. So if I happen to throw it up, then good for me, and I'm glad you guys got to see it. But if not, then maybe one of these days I will remember, and hopefully next year, if she brings this project back, which I think she is, then I will start to remember a little bit more. Okay, so one more shuffle here, I think, and then I am going to choose the card that is on the top, and we are going to see what I choose. Also, I don't look at the game board until after I've chosen my card, so I have no idea what is where, and I just lost the card. Okay. I think that was upside down. Some of these cards are backwards because I can like kind of see. They totally are. Okay, some of these are these are all mixed up. They're like, I want one that's upside down so I don't have to. Okay, let's go this way because this side is this way. I don't know. This is the one that fell. Oh yeah, this deck is so, well, for the most part. How did I get so many upside down backwards cards and there's only like 4? Destined for the Joker. 3 times this year. 3 times this year. Okay, well, I don't even have to look at the game board for that because it's Are You Joking? A product that you don't want to pan. But I'm going to just take a peek and see what this card is because this is the one that fell out. So the six of spades is dethroned. I don't even know if I have a product for that. But the Joker. Oh, goodness. Okay, let me go and find a product for this prompt and I will be right back. All right, so I chose a product and I'm kind of going to go the same route that I did when I rolled in the Joker the second time and I pulled in my Glam Light Ice Cream Jane palette. I'm going to pull in my Blend Bunny the Dollhouse palette. Now, I don't want to pan this because it is new to my collection, same sense that my Glam Light palette was. But what I'm going to do with this is, and especially because it's the last month of rolling anything in, next month is the finale, I just want to create 5 looks with this. This is the palette. I really, really love using these 2 shades. Like, just those 2, and I'm very happy and content with my eye look. But I do want to create 5 different looks. I'm really excited to start dipping into these shades right here. So that will be one look. I could more than likely do another look this way. I could just do, row by row, but I want to kind of make it a little bit more exciting and just kind of reach for whatever. So I am going to just create 5 looks with this. I don't want to do anything too intense. Again, this is one of the newest palettes to my collection and it is the last month of this project, so I don't want to do anything too much. But this falls in the same sense as my Glam Light palette where I don't want to pan this because this is so new to my collection. So that's how I'm making it work. It is what it is, and I'm excited to actually get a lot more use on this because I've only used it a few times. I'm actually wearing it today too. It's hard to see with these glasses in the reflection, but I'm wearing those 2 shades. I am wearing Crash from my Mercury Retrograde palette, but I'm also wearing Baby Doll and Tulle, and let's do it this way so I don't blind you. I'm wearing Baby Doll in the crease. I'm wearing Pretend in the middle of the eyelid, and I'm wearing Tulle on the inner corner. As my transition and also a bit on the outer V, I'm wearing Crash from my Mercury Retrograde palette, and on the outer corner, I'm wearing Ultraviolet from the Mercury Retrograde palette. So combining those 2, it's really pretty because they go very well together. So I'm excited to get some use on this. I really, really do like this palette, so I am excited about that at least. So who would have thought that I would roll this card in 3 times in this project? 3. If she brings this back next year, I will more than likely do this project and we will see how many times that gets rolled in for me, but that's okay. Gotta make do. It's good. We're fine. We're gonna make it happen. So thank you everyone for watching. I know the end of this was probably kind of all over the place. I do have to get going though because I am going to be a little bit late for work, so I gotta run. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and we'll see you all later. Bye.